along. My name is Zuri. I'm going to take you through a very gentle yoga practice today with the focus and the intention on creating space and openness. So if we open up through the front of the body, we do heart openers, can often feel quite vulnerable. And it's the same when we meet people for the first time. We walk into a room and we have to introduce ourselves. There can be a real sense of feeling quite vulnerable as we open ourselves up. So I'm going to encourage you to do this really gently in the practice today. We're going to start really small. I'm going to start in a very closed yoga position in the child's pose and encourage you to just gently come out of your shell. So join me. Bring yourself into child's pose. Big toes together, and take your knees slightly wider than your hips as you gently rest your body into this very first gentle position, the child's pose. The forehead can soften and rest onto the mat. You can place a block or a bolster under the forehead or under the back of your hips. To begin with, as you focus in on your breath, just try to create some space into the back of your rib cage. Feel the very gentle movements of the body as you breathe in. And as you calmly and quietly breathe out. Just take one more round of your breath. That's a gentle inhale. And the calming exhale. As you bring your body up, just gently come up onto hands and knees, wrist under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and create a little bit of movement through the cat and the cow. As you start to open up the front of the body gently, and you round and expand or widen the back of the body. Inhale, gently draw the spine forwards. Exhale, tuck tailbone under. And just draw the head just gently underneath your body. Just do two more, breathing in. And taking a long breath out. One more, inhaling. Quietly, calmly releasing that old stale air out of your body. And what if you were to come forward and just stay there? So just gently soften the belly so your belly is drawing closer towards the ground. Widen through the collarbones. Your eye gaze is forwards and open. The chest, the heart is open. And just notice how this feels. You create that beautiful space into the front of your body. Come back to neutral spine position. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Lengthen both the arms and lower the heels towards the mat. Beautiful stretch of the back of the body. Working all the way from your heels to your hips, sending the hips up nice and high, from the hips all the way down through your shoulders, and from your shoulders to the tips of your fingers. Lift both heels, come up onto tippy toes and lower the heels slowly down. Lift the heels, come right up onto the tips of your toes and exhale, slowly soften the heels back towards the mat. One more, lift up the heels, slowly lower the heels back down. As you come up this time to the tips of the toes, walk it in, tiny little steps, breathing out, exhaling, folding when you get to the top of your mat. Maybe give your head a little bit of a shake. You can just move your body, that feels right, your shoulders, gently from side to side to create a little bit of movement into the back of your body. Hands to the tips Fingers towards the shins as you open up, halfway left, and just pause there just for a moment. Roll the shoulders back again and think about creating that space into the front of the body, opening the chest, lengthening through side body. Exhale, fold a little deeper and lunge that right leg back, placing that back knee towards the ground and sending both the arms up. Breath in, press the palms together, making a gentle prayer position. If it feels comfortable, look up just slightly. Again, emphasis on opening up through the front of the body. Create space around the heart. Look up if that feels comfortable. Maybe look to where the wall meets the ceiling. As you bring the arms back around, tuck the toes under that back foot and come into a low lunge. Press back into the center of the heel. Place your right hand towards the ground and gently rotate as you open up to one side. And extend that top arm up, spread the fingers. Maybe give the hands a little wiggle. Again, create space. As you bring that arm around, lift that back foot and spring forwards as you come back to deep forward fold. Exhale, fold. Maybe create a little bit of movement across the shoulders. Inhale, come up to the tips of the fingers. Hands can be either halfway down the shin, or you could be just resting the tips of your fingers towards the ground. Feeling the length and the space to the back of your thighs, through the chest. Exhale, fold. Lunge that left leg back. Place the knee towards the ground. Inhale, draw the arms up. Bring the palms together. The tips of the fingers touch. Hands into prayer position. Puff the chest open. Send the arms up. Focus forwards and up. Get that sense of lift, not just through the front of the body, but through the sides of the body. Notice where you're looking, your drishti, your focus. Focusing forwards. Take a gentle breath in here. And as you bring the arms around, tuck the toes under that back foot and come into a low lunge. This time place the left hand to the floor and gently twist, open up through one side. We create space on one side. The top arm opens up, maybe spread the fingers, create space through the fingers and through the palm. Feel that sense of spaciousness through your body. Breathing in, bring the arm back around. Lift that back foot, spring forwards, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway left. As you take a long breath out, exhale, fold. Step the right leg back, come into downward facing dog. Take a big stretch again, feet just slightly apart. Draw the upper arms towards each other. Relax that lower jaw. Send your sit bones up just a little higher. Create some space across the back of your hips. Maybe a little bit more space down through the back of your thighs. And rest your body into child's pose with a big sigh. Sweep the arms behind you. Circling the arms around to create space behind you. As you let the shoulders almost hang over your thighs. The knuckles towards the ground. The palms opened up towards the ceiling. Maybe take a couple more rounds of your breath here. And try and create that space into the back of the rib cage. Sweep the arms around out in front. Reaching out to the tips of the fingers on the breath in. Inhale, bring your body up. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big stretch again. Extend and lengthen down through the heels. Arms are active. Draw the lower half of the belly in. As we lift both heels, lower slowly the heels all the way down towards the mat. Two more. Tips of the toes, pressing down through the back of the legs, down through your heels. One more. Lifting up and slowly, gently lowering down. Coming up this time and gently walking in. Take as many steps as you need to bring you back to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Step that right leg back. Place the knee towards the ground. Open up through the front of the body, and this time bring the hands towards the heart. Take your right arm and reaching across the left thigh and gently twist, and maybe look over your left shoulder, gentle spinal twist. Twisting and rotating and rinsing through the rib cage. Keep the hips square to the front, feel that gentle opening. You're almost creating a little bit more space into the front of your hips. As we come back through the center, raise the arms up on a breath in. Exhale. Tuck the toes under that back foot. Low lunge. Come right up to the tips of the fingers so that most of the weight is into the legs. The legs are the most powerful and strongest part of this pose here. The arms lightly touching the floor. Very little weight into your arms. Lift that back foot, spring forwards. Exhale, fold. Take a breath in. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Lunge that left leg back. Place the knee towards the ground. Take a breath in, sweep the arms up. Hands towards the heart. Reach opposite hand to that front leg and wrap the other hand around behind you. Look over the shoulder, just looking behind you, maybe to the back edge of the mat. Sink the hips forwards and down. Lift up. So we're lifting the chest again, still creating that space into the front of the body. Now moving that space down through the front of your hip, adding a gentle twist, spinal rotation. As we come out of it, raise the arms up on a breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms forward. Tuck the toes under that back foot, low lunge. Little pause. Just check in, where is the weight? The weight is into the legs, the strength, the power of both legs, the core. Pick up that back foot, spring forwards, exhale, fold. Take a breath in, come all the way up. Breath in. And take a long breath out, bring the hands towards the heart. Raise the arms 3 times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in, reuse. Lift the chest, lift the arms, open up, maybe look up. Exhale, hinge forward. So you're diving into water, come all the way down. Maybe give the head a little bit of a shake. Inhale, halfway left. Take a long breath out. Step back right to left as you come into a classic plank position, staying strong through both arms and both legs, and keeping that chest nicely opened at the front. Lower the knees slowly, the knees sitting back behind your hips. Keeping the chest puffed open, lower until the elbows brush past the ribcage and the belly touches the floor. The big toes, the heels touch. Roll the shoulders back, move the hands, maybe even hover the hands just off the ground. Puffing the chest open, coming up into a gentle back bend as we open through the front of the body. Place the hands down, press up onto hands and knees, and with a big sigh, gently press the body back into child's pose. Take a moment. Follow the flow of your breath. Inhale, draw the body up. Tuck toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Float the right leg up, leading with the heel as the heel extends up. Bend that top knee as though you're drawing your heel closer towards your tailbone. Send your heel just slightly behind your left hip as you draw that knee in and up. Come around through the middle, bring your knee towards your chest, step forwards, lunge it through, followed by the back leg. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, take a long breath out. Inhale, return. Big sigh, let it go. Raise the arms 3 times, breath in and out. Look up, open up, exhale. How good does it feel to open up the front of the body, to lift the arms, to spread the fingers, hinge forwards, dive into water, fold. Inhale, halfway left. Take a long breath out. Lunge that left leg back, step back left to right, pausing. holding, maintaining the strength and the stillness of this pose. Slowly lower the knees down. Brush the elbows past the rib cage. The big toes, the heels, the inner thighs touch. Move the hands just slightly further back. Just baby cobra, that's all we need. Create space into the front of the body to shorten through the back of the body. Tuck the toes under, press up, and again, rest your body into child's pose with either the arms out in front, extending right out to the tips of those fingers. Maybe just lifting the forearms and the elbows so they hover off the mat. Notice the difference in the feel into the back of the arms, behind the shoulders. And your head hang down between both of the arms. As you bring your body forwards and up, opening up the chest. Tuck the toes under, exhale. Downward facing dog. A long, flowing breath out. This time float the left leg up. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee. And start to rotate so the knee turns up and the heel draws slightly down. Keeping the arms active and strong. Getting into that hip flexor. Now bring the knee underneath through the middle of the body. Step forwards, lunge. Followed by the right leg, step through, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway left. Long flowing breath out. Inhale, stand up tall and proud. Breath in, energize the body as you lift up. Take a long breath out, sweep the arms around the body. Turn the palms subtly forwards. Roll the shoulders back. Everything on the front of the body is open and lifted. Even lifting the kneecaps and lifting your thighs up towards your hips. The front of the body is open. The front of the body is active. Inhale, breath in. Exhale, fold forwards. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back, right to left. Pause. Lower down, halfway. Come forwards and up into forward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back, soft through the elbows. Lifting everything, the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Roll over the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Float that right leg up towards the sky. Look to the spot you're going to step into. Step forwards, breath out, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back the left leg, this time left to right. Coming into plank position. Shift your weight forwards as you come down. Halfway, forwards and up. Roll the shoulders back, puff the chest open. Soften through your elbows. Maybe smile as you look forwards and up. Roll over the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Extending that left leg for three-legged dog. Look into the space you're about to step into. Lunging forward, stepping forward, walking forward, whatever you need. Take a breath in, halfway left. Take a long breath out. Stand up tall and proud. Inhale. Release it, let it go. Breath in. Follow the inhale. Exhale. Lunge just that right leg back. Keeping the back heel off the ground. Sweep the arms back and then send the arms forwards and up. Coming up into a pleasant lunge. Puffing the chest open. Reaching the arms back. Palms turn forwards. Bring the hands all the way down towards the heart. Again, keep the chest puffed open and lifted. Lean forwards on a slight angle. Rotate opposite elbow to opposite thighs. We come into a gentle spinal rotation. Maybe look towards that top elbow. See how much space you can create around the chest, around the heart. Come through the center. Find that focus, that point. Your fixed eye gaze looking forwards. Raise your arms up on a breath in. And as we fold forwards, step back into high plank. Pike up and back to downward facing dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Lunge step, walk forwards, coming back to the top of your mat, breath out. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, let it go. Lunge that left leg back. Pause. The back heel is lifted. Sweep the arms back. Activate the front of your body. Use the energy of the breath in to lift you up. And then open. How much space can I create through the front of my body? So the palms are turning forward. I'm looking forwards, maybe slightly looking up. Shoulders back, heart is lifted, hip is lifted and opened up at the front. Bring the hands towards the heart. Lean forwards just slightly. Start to rotate, twist, bringing opposite elbow to opposite thigh. Open through the rib cage. So now as I twist, I gently open the heart again. Create that space into the front of my body. Pausing, resting. Bring the body around, breath in, reach up. And as we spring forwards, step to the top of your mat, exhale, fold. Take a breath in, halfway lift. And a long breath out. Give the head a wee shake here. Cup opposite hand with opposite elbow, ragdoll. Just give it a little shake from side to side. A little bit of movement. Releasing any tension across the shoulders, down through your spine, through your lower back. And let the head hang. Allow your spine to almost become heavy. Relax that lower jaw. Breath in, halfway lift only. Exhale, long breath out. And then as you step back into child's pose, take a long breath out. Sweep the arms around the body and let your forehead soften onto the mat. Sweep the arms around the sides of your body. Come up to the tips of your fingers, draw the chest, the heart forwards, back onto your hands and your knees. 3 rounds of cat and cow. Forwards. Exhale, round, lift up underneath. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more, inhale. Long exhale, tuck that tailbone under, open up the chest. Come forwards with the heart, forwards with the chest. Exhale, rounding, lifting up underneath. And as we come back to center, little pause, find neutral spine position. Tuck the toes under, press back to downward facing dog. Extend that right leg for 3-legged dog. Bring the heel towards the tailbone and step that leg slightly behind you as you come into the wild thing. And see if you can open everything on the front of your body. Hips up, look up, and then sweep the arm around. Kick that back leg behind you and bring it back to downward facing dog. Rest into child's pose. Just take some of the stress out of the rest. Maybe come up to the tips of the fingers, forehead softens onto the mat. Bring your chest, your heart forwards. 3 rounds only of cat and cow. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you come back to neutral spine position, roll your shoulders back, tuck the toes under, pike up and back to that downward facing dog pose. Activate both arms, send the hips up nice and high. This time we float the left leg up, bend the knee, step just behind you. When that back foot lands, extend the bottom leg, lift the chest, create space into the front of the body, opening up wherever that top arm wants to go. So long as the bottom arm and the bottom leg on the mat is strong, you can make shapes wherever it needs to be with the others. Sweep it around, step back to downward facing dog.
Come up onto the tips of your toes and take tiny little steps as we walk it back to the top of the mat. Maybe give the head a little bit of a shake. So just wiggle the toes, so the feet, the knees slightly wider than your hips. Come up halfway left. Maybe coming right up to the tips of the fingers. Keeping neutral spine position, send your hips down nice and low as you open up through the chest and you open up through the front of the body. As we come into a classic low squat. The sit bones, the hips just away from the ground. You want to create that length from the top of the head all the way down through to the sit bones. And then at the same time create space where you're opening up the hips. The feet may be slightly turned out. Breathing in at the base of the spine, inhale up through the spine, and exhale down through your spine. Breathing in, and breathing out. Just take one more breath here. Place the hands down, send the hips up, wiggle the feet in. Come back to a neutral stance position. Tips of the fingers, tips of the toes all line up, and if you can press the palms down and draw the head right forwards and through, almost as though your forehead, your eyes, your nose are about to touch the knees or the shins. And then you get a sense of that sort of shifting your weight forwards into the front of your foot, to the space behind each of the toes. Take a breath in, come up halfway only. And place the hands to a relaxed, comfortable position, whether it's halfway down the shins, and tips of the fingers onto the ground. Exhale, fold fully. And step back into child's pose, resting the body with a big sigh. Rest your body here. Walk the hands back towards the body, coming into Japanese sitting pose. Sit the weight back onto your heels. Just resting your body into the Japanese sitting pose. You could place a cushion or a bolster between your hips and your heels. A neutral spine. Relax that lower jaw. Take one more round of your breath here. Slowly adjust the body so that you can bring your legs and sweep them around in front of you. Again, come to a comfortable seated position. Take a couple of different options here. You could place a support, a cushion, a bolster under the back of your hips, under your sit bones. And then gently bend the knees so you can feel the weight into both the bony sit bones, and I'm opening up through the front of the body, through the sides of the body, sitting up as nice and tall as I can. Bring that right leg as though you're drawing the right foot under your left foot. From this point here, I've just gently externally rotated that right leg, so onto the outer edges of my right foot. Bring your left leg across, and it could look like this, and this might be all that you need, just having one leg crossed over the top. It feels comfortable to bring that leg right up and over. Adjust through your sit bones. Maybe take the feet a little wider until you can feel that balance between both the right and the left sit bone. You have the right under and the left over the top. So with the left leg on top, reach the right arm up and bring it behind you as you sweep the left arm around. Maybe the fingers touch, Maybe you can come into a gentle bind with the hands behind your body, breathing in and breathing out. Take 3 more rounds of your breath here. And then first release the top arm and release that arm from the back. Gently shift and change the angles of the legs. Bring the legs back out in front of you. Knees bent, feet flat, weight through both the sit bones. A little bit of space between the feet and the knees. Bring the left leg under this time. Let that leg gently externally rotate, almost drawing the knee straight out in alignment with your hip. This top leg could come over and it could look just like this, and this might be all that you need here today. And find that balance through the center line of your body. It's comfortable to bring that leg and cross until you almost come to the stacking of the knees, one on top of the other, and the feet gently splayed out. And this time with the right leg on top, I reach the left arm up, send that behind, and reach the right now behind me. Bringing it together into a gentle bind behind you. You could choose to close your eyes as you turn your focus inwards. Known as the cow's face pose. This is really about opening up the airwaves, creating space around the heart, around the lungs, around the chest. Focusing just on your breath. How easy is it to breathe? One more round of your breath here. Reach the top arm up. Release that back arm. And gently, slowly release one leg at a time. Bring yourself to a seated position at one end of the mat, using the support of both arms and both legs as you gently C-curve the spine to lower your body back to the mat. And once you get there, just allow the body to gently open up. Separate the feet from the legs, letting the feet turn out, moving the arms slightly away from the body, with the palms gently opened up. Again, when you feel ready to move, walk the feet back towards your body. As you gently bring the knees to the chest, hands halfway down the shin or the back of your thighs. As we come into the happy baby pose, take the knees and the feet at least shoulder width apart, the feet in gentle flexion. Bring your arms on the inside as though the elbows just brush or touch the inside of your knee or the inside of your thighs. As you reach towards the outer edges of your feet, reach out towards the outer edges of your shins. As you take a breath out, allow the lower back to gently lengthen out on the mat. As you imagine that you're trying to create space, not just across the front of the body as you open your chest, and you let the shoulders come back into the mat, but as you allow the hips to gently soften and open. The sense of the knees drawing wide and down, with that release and that lengthening of your lower back. Maybe this is all you need, just to rest your body and settle into the happy baby pose. If it feels more comfortable, just gently rock your body from side to side. Notice, do you favour one side more than the other? Again, give yourself permission to play around and create some freedom and openness around your movements. As you come through the centre, again soften and settle gently bring my body out of this pose. Come into a gentle hug of your body. Hands halfway down the shin or behind the back of your thighs. Curling the head if that feels comfortable in your body. Tuck your body. And I want you to thank your body for what it allowed you to do here today. It's a gentle hug. It's a gentle compression of the front of the body. Deeply calming. And deeply healing. Lower the feet towards the ground. The feet touch the mat, the knees are bent. Drawing the feet and the inner thighs fairly close together. Again, just moving the arms slightly wider. There's that sense of openness. Gently maybe turning the palms to rotate up. To create a little bit of movement to begin, just gently move the legs from right to left. In your own time. Shifting both the knees over and across to the right side and then gently up and over towards the left side. Make this next one your last one. And then gently settle into one side as you come over and across into a supine, a laying supported twist. And with this one, I'm going to leave the head right in the middle, both the arms heavy beside me, the shoulders back. I get that sense again of openness through the front of the body, as well as that gentle spinal twist. Feel ready to move. Take a breath in as you come out of it, keeping the ankles, the knees, the inner thighs fairly close as I shift that up and over to the other side. Take your time. And the legs settle into a space they need to be in. And then just allow yourself to be here. Open your body up. One more round of your breath here. And gently drift those legs back towards the center. As you come to rest your body into Shavasana, slide the legs away. Again, the feet are separated. You're opening the body up. The feet turn gently out. The palms gently turn up towards the ceiling. If you wanted to, you could place a blanket or some extra clothing over your body, as well as keeping your body warm. It also helps to feel that sense of being protected, of being supported as you gently open your body up. The gentle weight of a blanket over your body, almost like you're in a little cocoon. Into the stillness and the silence of Shavasana. If you gave yourself permission to completely let go and allow the floor and the ground beneath you to hold and support you, what would that feel like? gently when you feel ready to move, just gently start by moving the fingers, move the toes, maybe lick across your lips. And just release any tension around the jaw. Gently, slowly walk the feet back towards the body, rolling over onto your side as you rest into the fetal position. Using the arms to gently support your body as you come up into a comfortable seated position. You could sit either with the legs crossed, you could sit with the legs out in front of you, you could sit in a kneeling position. Maybe just open the body up. So the hands, palms, just that simple act of opening the hands, maybe spreading the fingers. Open and widen, but then soften and relax, so that you're in an open position, but you're relaxed in your openness. So as we bring this practice to an end here today, raise the hands towards the heart. As I bow my head down to the earth, I say to you, Namaste. Thank you.